In the heart of our great nation, where the strength of our communities is built upon the foundation of strong and loving families, an urgent crisis is unfolding. Child Protective Services, CPS, an institution designed to safeguard our most vulnerable, has in many cases betrayed its noble mission. Too often, families are torn apart not by neglect or abuse, but by systemic failures and corruption. We can no longer stand idly by as these injustices continue. We are here to give a voice to those who have been isolated, to shine a light on the corruption, and to rally our fellow citizens in this critical fight for justice. Every day, countless families are caught in a web of bureaucracy and abuse of power, their lives disrupted and their bonds shattered. Children, who should be nurtured and protected, are instead placed in situations that can be just as, if not more, harmful than the circumstances from which they were taken. Parents, often bewildered and powerless, face insurmountable odds as they fight to reunite with their children. This is not the America we believe in. We cannot allow these injustices to persist. Our mission is to educate, to inform, and to inspire action. We promise to bring you daily updates on CPS, exposing the truth and fighting for reform. We must remember that the future of our nation depends on the strength and unity of our families. By standing together, we can hold CPS accountable and ensure that it fulfills its true purpose, protecting children and preserving families. This is a fight we must not and will not lose. We are committed to saving our families and securing a brighter future for all. The road ahead is challenging, but with your support, we can make a difference. Together, we will bring hope to those who have lost it and ensure that justice prevails. Let us unite with unwavering resolve and a sense of patriotic duty to safeguard the integrity of our families and the future of our nation.
Been locked away in chains, 15 years of struggle and pain. Kids taken away by a faceless form. She rises up in the darkest storm. Her voice touches hearts in a broken state. Podcast waves spark their fight and fate. Brenda's strength like a blazing fire. Inspire the lost to lift their desire. Brenda's cry echoes loud and clear. A warrior's heart, no room for fear. Stand up tall, let no one bring you down. In her voice, their freedom found. Government shadows, secrets untold. Brenda's story, fierce and bold. She helps others break their chains. Together they rise from the ashes of pain. Her husband waits behind iron bars, but Brenda knows they'll reach the stars. Oh, her love unyielding, a beacon bright in the silence of the night. Brenda's cry echoes loud and clear. A warrior's heart, no room for fear. Stand up tall, let no one bring you down.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, okay, when Great songs. Darren's putting out there some great songs. I really appreciate all the work everybody's been doing and getting ready for this February 14th show. Um, Darren, I sent my picture. Yeah, that's great that he's including so many people in that freely want to come in and tell their story. I mean, let's get with it, guys. It's time to like really make that stand, and we want to get noticed, and we want to get noticed by Trump and Melania. And I was just noticing that something that came into that Herbert Petty put into our private chat, and I think this is actually some good news, and something that he's getting off the imprint, Youth and Family News, and it says, okay, so this was what? Oh, this was actually a while back. Wait a minute, 2020? Come on, Herbert. But anyways, you can say it doesn't matter because it was actually in the Trump executive order on child welfare. So Donald Trump has issued an executive order on Wednesday with a laundry list of instruction for the administration of child welfare. The order does not appear to direct new money to states in one place it, and it might be calling for tighter restrictions on federal funds, but it does lay out a new data collection and technical assistance aimed at reducing the use of and time spent in foster care. It is the goal of the United States to promote a child welfare system that reduces the need to place children into foster care and achieves the safe permanency for those children who must come into foster care, and does so more quickly and more effectively, the order said. Here's a quick rundown of what jumped out to Youth Services Insider from the executive order. To avoid repeating the phrase ad nauseum, every item is something that Trump is instructing the Secretary of the Department of Health and Services to do. Supporting kinship care, preventing aging out. We know that this is unacceptable. The way things are going with children that are aging out of these foster placements, like ending up on the streets, ending up going into a prostitution, going into drugs. And you think about how sad that is, because I mean, if the children were in our care, there's a high probability as none of this would happen at all. So there you have it. I mean, most of the parents that are out here fighting for their children have they're great moms and dads. Forget that parent word altogether. We're moms and dads, and we are true by blood, by DNA. These are our children, and if we don't stand up and let the country, the nation, the world know that this is not right and this is what's been going on. I mean, like we say, we don't want to go in circles, and we don't want to get discouraged, because we've been there. We know that. We get our hopes up and only to get them like smashed down. You think you're getting somewhere, and then it's just like my son described it as a treadmill. You're actually you're going not at a fast pace. Like they say, you're going nowhere really fast. No, we're going nowhere really slowly. So it's almost like supports the torture of all of our family members to have to go through this. And it's not only affecting moms and dads, it's affecting the siblings, the aunts, the grandmas, the grandpas, the uncles, everybody. It affects everyone, and most of all, our concern is, of course, the children. So this is supporting kinships here about the preventing aging out. Trump said in order that relatives and others who step up to care for children to often lack adequate support, and that the frequency with this youth aging out of foster care experience homelessness, joblessness is unacceptable. HHS will have developed a plan that addresses barriers accessing existing federal assistance and benefits for eligible individuals for both kin and youth aging out. This will be the most welcome on both counts. When the child welfare agency place kids with kin, more often than not, is not through the formal foster care route. It's through diversion, where the physical custody changes, but the parent retains legal custody. I don't know about this part, guys, but you can tell me what you think. In these cases, most states do not pay the relative caregivers the same amount of money that a licensed foster home would get. Yeah, I imagine that part is definitely true. Um, but there are often other benefits that the family might qualify for, like including child-only welfare checks or assistance with food and nutrition. Trump also orders HHS to urge more states to consider taking federal funds for kinship, guardianship, and agreements, often referred to as kin gap. This is a model for permanency that enables relatives to assume permanent custody with financial support without the turbulence that could come with adopting child of a loved one. I mean, and then it goes on to talk about quality, legal representation, data on foster families. I don't know if that is something we want to get into right now, but there's reasonable efforts and reviews. Yeah, they got to, I mean, we can do all the reviewing we want, but if these caseworkers and these people that are in charge of these programs, these supervisors that are in charge of these certain, I don't know what they call them, districts or your county or whatever, I mean, it's all, looks pretty good on the face, but when you're involved with it and you're diving into, hey, why did this happen? Why did this happen? We have to start looking at the people that are put into these positions, and these ones that care nothing about your children and want to lie to your family, like all family members. I've had this problem with the Partnership for Strong Families that handled what is the CPS on our case. And I mean, they've lied to everyone. And in fact, I was going over it yesterday. I said that, these petitions that they put in the Department of Children and Families, I just can't find any truth in it at all. So the question is how are we going to get them to understand? I mean, we can go through and say, okay, well, this case law and this case law, and this shouldn't happen and this shouldn't happen. But I mean, are they going to listen to a distraught parent? And that's what's very concerning, is a lot of us have like post-traumatic stress disorder and all these other things that have been preventing us from actually maybe, filing these things we want to file and doing them properly to make sure that they're heard. Not just a bunch of rambling on that won't get noticed. But, I've tried every different avenue throughout. Like I said, I've been going through this for 9 years, and I was always active in contacting our leaders before that happened. And I'm talking about, calling down to the White House. I'm calling down to our senators and congressmen. And that's why they have those numbers for us to call there. So, which is strange to me, like a lot of these agencies are turning it around to say, we can't do anything to help, and it's so frustrating. Well, why are you our public servant, but you are not, helping with these matters? Or if you can't do anything legally on this, why don't you find out who can and guide us in the right direction? Because we've tried everything, and we're checking it off as we go down. And it seems like the only thing left and the only avenue we have is to get up on this, like if we have to shout it from the bullhorn or whatever on the shows, and just keep stressing that everybody needs to get it together and join us on February 14th at 7. And our families all are brokenhearted because of what's happened throughout these many years or few years or whatever you've been dealing with this. Because it seems to me that all the stories that we have been noticing is it's very similar in what happens. Parents' rights are violated time and time again. The same avenue, they'll make you go through the same programs, even if you don't even have any trouble with substance abuse. You'll have to go through this program, and I didn't see any problem in going through with their programs and going to a marriage counselor and this and that. I mean, every time, a marriage or, these different things like a car, every once in a while it needs some fine tuning. So I didn't see any problem with that. But when you're putting people into these positions and the only jobs they get are through Department of Children and Families and these partners with the Partnership for Strong Families, Devereaux. There's a lady that came on the show, Miss Cox, Danielle Cox. She was coming on yesterday and gave us some other names of these places that, literally, it really looks like they're trafficking children. Okay. And there's so much talk about these illegals and their families, and they're being torn apart. And over and over again, we've heard this on the news. This is something that the media is covering over and over again. Oh, these poor illegal immigrants that are being deported, which they're most likely criminals and have committed murders and this type of thing. But somehow we're supposed to feel sorry for them and their families. I'm sorry. My husband's family fought for this country for over 250 years, and we're sons and daughters of the American Revolution, and we will not sit back and be silenced by threats of harassment because we're trying to call and get some answers. There's nothing called. I've never been rude to anybody on the phone at all. But they're going to come into a court of law after my children are stolen for going on 9 years now. And then they're the same judge that was responsible for taking initially my children out of our care. She now feels threatened by my husband. I don't understand where these things are going to stop. I mean, where is that? It seems like the straw is broken. The everything. The battle has begun, but is there an end? Is there an end? And that's what we're looking for. Everybody wants a happy ending, and I just really. To me, if you're trying to contact your leaders and trying to get some answers to all these things, and you're absolutely getting nowhere, and somehow that they feel threatened by you calling there and hoping for some positive results, they, in my opinion, have a lot to hide. Because why would a judge that initially stole my children be afraid of my husband that lives in Louisiana and you're in Florida and this many states away, and through all this time our children have been gone. We haven't acted out in any violence or any manner of the nature. We might have put them in their place, maybe called them some names here and there. But I'm sorry, is your feelings hurt? Because our family are physically and mentally hurting, and I don't think that I know there was some talk. We did a late night show last night. There's some talk is, that a lot of people don't understand is what we are going through as moms and dads or grandmas and grandpas, what have you. They don't understand. They have no way of comprehending the struggles that we go through on a daily basis. Not knowing where your children are, not knowing where your family is, if they've been trafficked, if they're alive, if they're, what would be a problem? Why would they adopt your kids out in a closed adoption? Boop, it's sealed. What? Hello. Is that strange to anybody? I know it's a strange to all the parents that might want to be watching the show, but America, we got to wake up. What was that saying? Wake up and smell the coffee. Because I'm on a roll today. I'm on a roll, and there's nothing really going to stop me from seeking justice anywhere I can. If it's calling the media, if it's emailing the media, if we have to do it, and the fact is that, there'll be like people like Florida Department of Law Enforcement, for example. They won't return a call. Even it seems like really my problems became of when I started requesting, records from this whole raid they did on my house back like a couple months after my children were taken. Okay, they raided our home, took our computers out, every recording device, our disc, anything you can imagine, took it out, kept it for like 8 months of this case, which dragged on, never found anything wrong. And now we can have our computers back. Thanks, and all of our all of those laptops, we still have them. They're all compromised, right? They want to get into your stuff and find a way that they can dig into you dig into whatever they think that you're going wrong. What are you doing wrong? Nothing. You're opening your mouth and you're letting it be known. Okay, you're letting it be known that we're like the movie. Okay, this is what the example that I wanted to give. Like that movie Network. If you haven't seen it, it's an older movie. Look it up. Network. Okay, this is kind of like the film my husband was trying to put together, like a second revolution movie, and doing little clips along the way, and eventually was hoping to put it together into a film. Well, this network is pretty much they get tired of the medias and what's going on there and how they're not reporting certain things. And one day the guy just grabs his television and throws it out the window of a high rise, and says, and he just yells out, "We're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore." Okay. And I mean, this is pretty much the same thing. It's like we're living this in real life. We are upset. Okay. We are hurting. We are sad. Some people just do the opposite as what I'm doing. Instead of like letting it out, they're going to bottle it all up. And I mean, we can't do that. Y'all have to know that you are not alone in this mission to make sure that these child protective services are not harming children, to make sure they're not illegally taking our families away, to make sure these children don't die in foster placement and adoptive placements. Because I mean, there's story after story after story that I posted on my Facebook that I have found people share with me, and then I repost them, about these horrible abuses that are going on in the foster system. And maybe it's covered by a little local news network, but it's not being thrown out there nationally. So I know that that one case, because that I found interest in that, because that Maya case, if anybody remembers that, and how that was like a medical kidnapping. The mother ended up killing herself because of all this stuff that happened with Child Protective Services. And that got a lot of attention, but it really brought a lot of questions up in my mind, because Shands is where my children were going for their medical care even before CPS got into our life over there. We were in Dixie County, Florida, and they're in Gainesville, which was about an hour away. So if we wanted to ever go to a specialist or anything like that, we'd be going out to Gainesville. We'd be going out to Shands. And in fact, my daughter, they wanted to keep saying that we didn't what was it? We didn't recognize my daughter's delays. Well, why are we taking her to a neurologist then? Why are we getting her an MRI? And why are we filling out all this paperwork to say, is there anything that we need to do special to care for my daughter, because this is what's happening? And so, I mean, the question is why is some cases getting attention and others not? Like so many others aren't. Is somebody being, paid? Is there a good person here and there? There are little spatters of people that are on our side and will stick their neck out and get the news out there. This is something that is a massive, massive problem. Big problem. And we need to, we need to get it out there. And I don't so, like I say, guys, for many a months, I'm just like, you get into a depression. You're like, okay, I've tried to do this. What happened? I'm taking notes. And God forbid that if you take notes, they target you. They target you if you keep track of this stuff. That they believe you're a problem because we keep track of things like phone calls. We keep track of it. If the state legally allows it, we'll be taping these public officials and whatnot. And we have people that are in fear for their lives and their unborn children's life because they've already had their other kids ripped away from them. They're afraid to have children because they don't want to have to go through this. It's so unbelievable, guys. I'm just like so excited today. I can't tell you that my heart is in it to win it. That is for sure. And I'm kind of looking through some stuff. I thought maybe I could share something with you guys. But this is one thing that really bothered me in my discoveries after. It was in a different county in Florida after my rights had been terminated about a year. And there's this CPS supervisor by the name of Jason Katz that has been continually stalking us, harassing us, bullying us every step of the way, even after our rights were terminated. This is one thing and this is the reason I tried to take this to a defamation case out in Alachua County, where he works now for Alachua Academy. And this place is very questionable to me. It's one of these institutions. They house up to 28 girls that either have delays or been in trouble with the law. Really the only trouble with the law that these young girls are going to have is because of the situations they have been put into and thrown into, and they've been being abused and trafficked and raped and molested and just sold into like a slavery. It's really human slavery is what's happening with our children. But this guy states to Officer Hochschild that Brenda and Christopher Camburn were extremists who have been trespassed from major government buildings in Dixie County. Now, that's I say, this is clear defamation. Not that Mr. and Mrs. Cameron have not been trespassed from any government buildings, okay? What happened is about a year, maybe a year and a half before my children were taken. This is how I can tell you, this is like a big freaking plot that they develop in their mind that okay, we're going to take this person down and they're not going to stop until it happens. But the trespass, I can tell you that they did put trespasses on, and they were false trespasses. One was from the newspaper, the Dixie County Advocate, this lady that has been just another person has stalked us and just putting these horrible stories, like putting us out there like we're some nuts, and we're not. I don't see her reporting how we homeschooled 3 doctors and graduated top of the class, and that me and my husband been together for 43 years and never been in trouble with the law until we moved into Dixie County, Florida. I don't see any reports on that. But yeah, they should saying this is not true. So we haven't been trespassed or any buildings. So any government buildings. The other building, I can tell you this. Okay, so the reason they trespassed from the building, I went to get a newspaper there because my preacher had told me, hey, there's an article in the newspaper about you and Chris. And I'm like, oh, really? So it was like a couple weeks later, I had to go into the Dixie County Advocate and ask to purchase one of these newspapers, which was like 50 cents. And the lady was very nice to me that worked there under this, the lady that runs that show is this Kathy McKinney. Oh, God forbid. But this lady is like, oh, sure, have a copy. No, don't, just keep your money. Go ahead and take it. So I went in there. My husband never went in there at all. I get home, just not even an hour later, cops are knocking on our door saying, hey, we have a trespass for you. You can't go to this property or have any contact with this lady. Oh, really? Well, that's strange. How are you going to put a trespass on my husband when he never even been in that building? They're not supposed to do that. We've looked this up. And then not long after that, my husband was running for sheriff, the same sheriff that stripped my children naked and made them take showers before they were abducted from my home in Dixie County, Florida. This is the county attorney. He's the sheriff he's the attorney for the sheriff. You guys don't know what county attorneys are. I never did. Now I do. But when I went to there, we were getting like signatures for Christopher to be on the ballot because if you get so many signatures, however many it was, like 1,000 signatures or something, then you don't have to pay to be on the ballot. But in any case, I went in there because they had all these Trump, this is 2016, mind you, they had all these Trump posters on their windows. I thought it was one of these places that they set up every year as a campaign site, okay? Because that's what it looked like. And come to find out, their Michael Osteen, attorney at law sign, was like way on the other side of the parking lot. We had no idea that's what this place was. So I went in there, and the lady's very nice to me. They'll be so nice to you, and then turn around and stab you in the back. It's like, what? I'm like, oh, I went in there. So I'm trying to get signatures. My husband's trying to get his, on the ballot for sheriff position. And I even went in and I had a Trump Christmas card. I'm like, I show her my Christmas. She's like, oh, I got one of them too. And she's like, no, I'm sorry. This is a law office and we wouldn't be able to sign your petition. So, okay, I go home again. Within a couple hours, we got the cops knocking on our door saying you're trespassed from Michael Osteen's office. This is the county attorney. This is the same county attorney that was arrested in 2022 for bribery and conspiracy. And I don't know how many years he's got for this, but it's probably less than what my husband has for posting a cartoon calling out pedophile judges. I tell you, I'm really excited today, guys. And God knows if anybody's even listening. But if anybody wanted to join in, I mean, you're welcome to it. I mean, I tried to send out a couple of shout outs to some people that I know are interested in getting justice for their children. And I mean, now it's the middle of the afternoon. We're trying to figure out morning, afternoon, blah, blah, blah. I mean, people's got things going on. Like they've got to try to earn money. They've got to take care of their house. They got lots of things to do. But what's good about this YouTube is you can always watch it later. And for the record, all of these are stored. This is what I do with my and I suggest anybody that's been through the court system, in the family court system, or even in your criminal cases, get all the court media that they have on this. I mean, to be able to see the video with people's expressions, people's attitudes in the court, it really tells me a lot more than just reading a transcript. And it's a lot cheaper. So I'm able, through Dixie County administration, to obtain probably 3 or 4 different court hearings, depending on the length, for $25. I'm willing to pay that, because you guys, you only have what is it? Oh Lord, I think it's only 8 years to obtain these videos, and now I'm saying, oh my God, I'm going on 9 years here. But I'm hoping, I think I pretty much did a good job of getting all the videos I wanted from the children's cases. But like I say, money gets tight, because you have to deal with all this stuff, and then they're arresting you unlawfully for this and that and the other thing. Like I say, I try to step a foot in Florida, and I'm being arrested falsely. When I have people lying, saying I have a gun, and I don't. So obviously, it was somebody that knew the story about me, that knew I was a felon, to say, "Oh, she's got a gun." So they're gonna arrest me and pull me over. Maybe I was going a little fast on the highway, but come on. Thank God in heaven that I wasn't in Dixie County when I got pulled over, and that I'm telling you, it's just so messed up that they can continue to arrest people for these little petty things, and people that are murdering children that have been that their adoptive parents or something like that, they're in foster homes, and children are actually dying and being abused sexually and physically, and they're not putting these people in jail. I mean, can you imagine that something's wrong? Hey, targeted Peyton, what's up? What's up is right. I'm up, and I'm like, woo, woo. I'm like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm not done, but I'm saying, I'm like, man, there's just so much a person can take, and that's what they're hoping for. They're like, they want you at that breaking point. Okay, now my husband did a cartoon that he posted on TikTok, or allegedly posted on TikTok, and YouTube. Okay, and it's a cartoon. Okay, on his channel, you can see that it's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, and it says anybody that thinks this is real ought to get their head examined. Okay, and then a judge feels threatened by this. To me, that only is showing that you're guilty of something. If this entertainment offends you, hello, turn the channel. Nobody told you to be Googling Christopher Cambron or Brenda Cambron. And oh yeah, they don't want. Yeah, of course, they can't risk this bullshit that they're trying to freaking cram down people's throat. I mean, there is no justice in this family court system, and in my opinion, I mean, Dixie County Court, there is no justice. Period. I mean, 3 of the judges down there are being supposedly still being investigated for when this Michael Osteen, the county attorney, and the state attorney was arrested back in 2022. So if the Jacksonville FBI or AG's office is still investigating 3 of the judges, how are these 3 judges are prosecuting or persecuting my husband and saying that he's some type of madman that is going to harm this judge? It's so ridiculous. What's harming them is our words, guys. And I mean, this is my only weapon. Sorry, I don't own a gun. Okay? And they cannot stand my mouth. For the life of me, they can't stand what me or my husband say. So the only way to shut us up is to lock us up. Because, like I say, they tried to lock me up in June. Well, they did. For 34 days. They locked me up. What's up with that? That's what I say. What's up? You ever hear that Saturday Night Live? What's up with that? What's up with that? Ooh, wee. I'm telling you, wow. I'm like, sometimes you feel like you're running on empty. I'm like overloaded here. But what else did I want to say about this? Okay, so that's what I got into, that whole trespassing thing. But I was trying to think of the name of the place that's up there in Gainesville, and the ones that they did, behind the window thing that I was talking about, where they observed me, my husband, and my two youngest children that they stole, and said that singing the Barney song was over the top. Okay, well, so it's and this is coming for, it's the UF, University, Florida. Okay, and through the Child Protective Psychological Evaluation. This place, okay, this Dr. Abels and Kelly Ball, counselor that my son was made to go to, said, oh, Mom, they're asking weird questions. I don't want to go there. I don't want to have to go there. And my daughter had to go to somebody else. But in any case, this place, all they do is focus on adoption. So why at the beginning of our case, this is right at the beginning of the case. What's the date on this thing? Date of the report, 6/9/2016. Or the evaluation was done in May. Okay, my kids were taken on April 4th. And already, like I said, they set up this type of scenario that you're some crazy nut. You're a terrorist. Okay. And again, I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to get back to the fact that, wow, that comment just threw me out there. Okay. Well, any case, let me see. I wanted to read you all a little bit of this, but again, they're trying to make you out that there's something or not. No, you're what? There's no mention of me homeschooling 3 doctors that graduated top of their class. I'm sorry to say, probably the best parent in the United States. And you're taking my 2 youngest children. Seems more to me like some kind of a weird experiment that you're doing on our children. Because again, we were talking about how they don't take the children that belong to people that are addicted to meth and all these other horrible drugs that are living in tent cities. They don't have a beautiful 2-story home. That was recently repaired by the state-run weatherization program. So in any case, don't get me started on that. And by the way, the sheriff's name is Dewey Hatcher, or was. Now he's retired. For some reason, they did everything they could to try to stop my husband from getting that sheriff's seat position. Because, yes, he was a law enforcement specialist. Retired. He was a veteran of the United States Air Force, and had run for a legislator a couple times when we lived up in Maine. So, I mean, he's very active in politics and trying to make this country a better place, or this little town, or whatever. But God forbid that we try to do that, because they don't want things better. They just want to keep destroying families, children's lives, and then they're wondering why these kids are going out on shooting rampages in the schools. Hello? It's just like, wake up, people. All right, so it says, then it talks about, they put this same judge that initially was responsible for taking my children and then recludes herself a year into the case, put a security measure on my husband, and they're going to talk about this. They're going to talk about all these things that are crap, okay? That's exactly bull crap, that my husband never committed a crime in his life, yet he has to have an escort every time he walks into that building over there in Dixie County, Florida. Yay. I mean, how is that going to look on your dependency case? That he's some type of danger. Okay, what are you saying? Let me see. Paint the narrative that the parent is a danger to their own children without ever actually looking into their life. And right, the other thing I wanted to say about that targeted is because they want to say or reveal that they know what our beliefs are, yet nobody's ever asked us what our beliefs are. They're saying, oh, since my husband does some crazy shit on American Patriotism channel on YouTube, Christopher Cameron, if you want to look it up, that means that his on-air performance to you is that's his belief. No, he's an actor reading a script, and that's called freedom of information under entertainment. Sorry. Thanks a lot for joining in with the discussion, targeted, because yes, I indeed am a targeted individual. I can tell you there's some other people that they have a thing they put together, targeted. I think that's what it is. Targeted something, targeted justice. Okay. But I mean, I have a copy of mine. I'm flashing it up on the screen all the time because they're taking my husband's YouTube films and turning it around to say, oh, these are his beliefs and this is a threat to law enforcement, public servants, who else? Prosecutors, judges, that his films are that. You guys, take a look, see what you think. I mean, it's readily available for anybody to see, but they give him 15 years for a cartoon post. Something is wrong here, people. Something is wrong, okay? They are trying to lock us up because you got this new administration coming in, and they know they're not going to take any of this crap. And when they find out what y'all doing to our children, and you can keep taking down my TikTok channels, you can keep going on and on, but we're getting the word out there. No matter how hard you try to shut us up, I'm sorry, it's not going to do. You wanted to lock up my husband, think you're going to shut me up that way? No, sorry. I got a mouth and I'm going to use it. Oh, really? Where are you at targeted pay? What is a Patreon? Patton. Okay, should I say it like that? Where are you located at? If you don't mind me asking, because I can tell you that Florida is. I mean, there's a lot of problems, and what's scary to me is why now this Pam Bondi is going to be Attorney General, and she didn't do anything over here in Florida. When I'm contacting that office, it's always being brushed off somewhere else. We don't handle that. Oh, they're referring me back to the Department of Children and Families. Why are you targeting me back to the same exact people that have been breaking the law throughout my case? How far am I going to get with that? And over again, every time I've tried to reach out to these, they're going to refer me back to whatever. Everybody's got every business or whatever you want to call it has the higher ups that you would go to that oversee the problems that's going on. Okay, so interesting you're in Pennsylvania, because this is what me and Danielle, I'm not sure how to say your name, last name Danielle, but we were doing a show last night. And because both of our kids were subject, and our families were subject to be a part of this Devereaux, the people that are trafficking our children, Devereaux, and that's why I find it interesting that Pennsylvania is where Devereaux is there. It's in Florida. It's over in Georgia. It's all over the place. And I mean, if you look up Devereaux in Pennsylvania and see that all these children will be sexually abused and all these horrible things, I think I can't even remember. It's been so long since I looked at it, because I hate all this negativity. I just don't. So much of it is just like, how much can you take? But Devereaux in Pennsylvania, yeah, they were abusing children. And so when I found this out, of course, I'm trying to contact the leaders over in Florida, saying, well, look at this is the record of this Devereaux. I mean, they're trafficking children. Does anybody care? Does anybody even care? That's why I always I'm sorry that I might lean Republican or whatever like that, but I mean, DeSantis, I'm sorry, he hasn't done crap for the families in Florida. Has done absolutely nothing. And but he's right up there on the podium when another disaster hits, and they want more monies for that. I mean, they need to look. I mean, on the top of your things that you get from the Department of Children and Families doesn't have the governor's name up there in the corner. So I think that would be their responsibility to look into these problems. Okay, so pass the buck game, yeah, for sure. My Targeted says my son got returned to me because I raised enough stink. Well, it seems like it seemed like I raised too much stink is what their problem with us was. Who knows? Okay, so September 2020, Naylor saying after 25 years of child sex abuse at Devereaux facilities were uncovered in August. Philly is removing 53 children still in the nonprofit's care. Wow. See, but yeah, you're right. It never does stop. I mean, that's why. I mean, Trump's coming in there, firing the FBI, firing the Department of Justice. Hello, that's our problem. Okay, because that's ultimately who's above this crap that's going on in the States. I swear to God that, because that Jacksonville FBI, I swear I'm finding out all this stuff. I'm trying to contact them, give them information. Hey, you're putting this county attorney in prison for crimes in the same time period as this happened to my family. And obviously it was like election interference. It was everything you can imagine. Um, um, Hey, Miss Clearwater, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. But like again, I'm just going a mile a minute today, so sorry to say. But I got we're a little bit I was also very upset that my husband, if he's at home, never gets sick. We never get sick. We never get a sickness, nothing, no cold, nothing, no flu, But being transported from one facility to the other, my husband had like the worst flu. He was like, he's like, I can't even take any more medicine. He was so sick yesterday. It was just like unbelievable. And then somebody that usually has high blood pressure, today his blood pressure dropped, and he it was like what happened to me. He had an episode of passing out. He ends up falling down the stairs. They're putting him on top bunk. This man has onset dementia, 60 years old, been all through all this crap with Department of Children and Families, plus them defaming our good name for how many years, and through this fusion exchange. Through these fusion exchange centers and through these bulletins that they create, it's a creation. It's fiction. Okay, that's fiction. Whatever they're putting in these things for people who've never committed a crime in their life, that you better look out for these people because they're a threat to law enforcement or public officials. How is that a threat? Because we're making entertainment and we're calling out police brutality and things like this. I mean, my husband knows the law. He was the law. I am the law. Like, all right, yeah, let's get into this fact that Sylvester Stallone and Mel Gibson, they're part of this. They're going to be part of this White House Hollywood thing. That's what I'm saying again. Why can't we get a hold of these heroes that are on the screen and make them heroes in our real life? Because Mel Gibson has taken a lot of crap from exposing some of this crap that's going on in Hollywood, and it gets back down to all that Diddy crap. I mean, it's all in the same. It's all in the same. Yes, outside an experimental treatment facility. I don't know if y'all ever looked up this. I don't know what's going on with that. Cheney Brothers Incorporated. If you all can look that up, because outside the window of when I was thrown into medical, locked down for like 4 months in medical in Charlotte County Jail, what I saw out of my little window was a Cheney Brothers Incorporated. And strange stuff is going on there. I'm going to tell you the truth. They got, God knows what their It's just too much. It's too much. I can tell you, if somebody did some research on that, I sure would like to know, but I'm just like too excited, guys. Devereaux is headquartered in Vanilla, Pennsylvania, where it manages vast operations with more than 6,500 employees. Various entitlements are affiliated with Devereaux, including Helena Devereaux Foundation, Devereaux Properties, Devereaux Schools and Company, Quality Health Staffing. And targeted wonder if outside is in their network at Christopher Naylor. Not sure what that means, guys. Chris, you can handle that one. And isn't it like it is experimental? It is. They're like, we're like the lab rats, okay? And our children, especially, are the lab rats because, God, I mean, all these places. It's like that's what we're getting into, the fact that a lot of these guardian lion-ins, they haven't raised any children. They're fresh out of college or school, or who knows, but probably not even in college. They're gonna be the guardian lion on your case. That never even raised a child or had anything to do with children, and then all of a sudden you're going to tell me that I don't know how to take care of my children? Boy. Yeah, and that's what they ended up saying about me. They said I was unteachable. I was unteachable because I wouldn't be blackmailed to say lies about my husband. Because what they were telling my sister, who was trying to take the children into her custody when we see things weren't going our way, she was telling me, Brenda, they're telling me if you left Chris, you'll get your kids back. And you know what I told her? I said, bullshit. They want me to lose Chris. They want me to lose my husband as well as my children. And it's crap. It's all, and in the court of law, they're the prosecutor. Y'all, if you look on my, I've got a channel that I posted all these videos of my husband's trial. And if you want to see democracy die, you can watch the sentencing, you can watch the trial, and it's just unbelievable. And hey, Chris Naylor, I wanted to tell you that I called this James Burns' office. He was the HIPSA, or whatever you call it, the sponsoring attorney for Florida for Chris's case. And I'm just wondering about this particular bill. But the lady that I was talking to, she knows kind of the crap that was going on. And she says, hey, I have a relative that was going through this family court system. He got the same charge. I don't even know if it sounded just like your story. Got the same charge, but ended up with like 3 years probation. So there you have it. My husband got 15 years. Now, U.S. aid was giving money to Jeffrey Epstein, recently discovered by Dodge. Okay, good. That's great news. Hello. It's like they're just using our kids in these facilities to conduct a big social mind control experiment. It is true. I'm a big believer in all that. And like I said, it always reminds me of that Wolverine movie where they had the, what was that girl's name? Laura. Her name was Laura. And she also had the things coming out of her or whatever. I don't know. All my husband, my kids all like Marvel. They like, they like to go into that fantasy world. Like, so I say, even with the video games or whatever, all these things that take us away from the reality of how screwed up this country has become, Yeah, they want to isolate me. And my husband's only hope at this time is to see if I can come down and we can get a face-to-face visit, which I find out that might take another month in order to make that happen. But I haven't even got the video visits to work since he's been over there. He actually was moved earlier this week. So just hoping to open up some, the video visits really are helpful when you literally, so I say, the sad situation is that if we would have stayed in our house in Florida, they would have kept us, arresting us for nothing. Being so sad that all of that house was made and surrounded about the kids. In fact, I was you can go on Zillow and look and do this. You look at this 1415 Northeast 364th Avenue in Old Town, Florida, and see what beautiful two-story house we had over there. And then when I go back to go through to visit a couple of friends of mine in Florida, because I'm living in Louisiana, as everybody knows now. But anyway, so you see, I lost my train of thought. There you go. Boom. It probably doesn't matter. But good Lord, guys. I'm on a roll today. Okay, so what's Target is saying? Okay, good movie, but the truth isn't that far from the sci-fi movies. That's what I'm saying. And my husband, I know there's a lot of people out there that have certain intuitions or abilities to, I don't know, maybe even use a probability analysis to predict the outcomes in these different situations, which he's worked on for a number of years. And it's not far from the truth. And when my husband went through in front of a panel back in 91 in regards to Social Security, he said to the judge, he's like, if you want to know what's going on in my life, just watch the movies and you will see. Which really makes me scared because my husband did a lot of films where he dressed up like the Joker and did all this other stuff. And if y'all didn't see Joker 2 movie, see it, because it is so close to reality. I'm telling you right now, especially when I have a judge that doesn't understand the difference between fiction and or sci-fi and reality, to say that my husband is sitting there in court with his Joker face. No, he wasn't. Did she? She must have seen that movie and now she's scared. My husband should be scared because in the movie, I won't do the spoilers, but the Joker in these two movies, Joker and Joker 2, it's an origin story that was done about that he's actually not the bad guy, that he's actually the hero. The people that he was going after were the bullies, the people that was bullying him on the subway, these rich kids and stuff like that, or rich guys. And in the first movie that was done, and now the second movie, it will be all surrounded in a jail. And I know it's kind of funny that it got bad reviews because I think the movies that get the awards aren't the ones that deserve it. I'm sorry to say. Okay. I just ran a real quick check. Nothing. We require deeper level of research and records. Request you find the contract connection between outside and Devereaux. Yeah. Yes, I was talking about my home in Florida. It was in fact, I could type it in the chat. I will give you guys this address because the point is, when I went back there, I went through Dixie County and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go by and see the house. I'm going to go see the house where we lived, a beautiful house with I think it was 3.5 acres. And I sold it to a beautiful couple that had 2 little kids. And as far as I understand it, that couple also had their children taken. But to get back to the condition of the house, I mean, this is how many years later? Maybe about 5 years later in that respect. It was completely gutted. The doors were off. I mean, it's just it's going to be condemned. So how is that the sheriff's son that was stealing the bids for the state-run program that helped fix up houses had helped put some appliances. They put all new windows in this house, and now this is what it's just unbelievable. I'm going to put the address on there because you guys can see this beautiful house. There's 25 pictures of this is what the house looked like when we sold it. I don't know why it's not letting me get in here. Gosh darn it, guys. Okay, here it goes. All right. But yeah, that to me in itself, I mean, to have the sheriff's son stealing the bids for the state-run program, and who handles those monies for them state-run programs is the commission of your town. Oh, you live in these little towns, you're screwed. I'm telling you. 1415 Northeast. 300. It's in my mind. It's great in my mind. 64th Avenue. One time, me and my husband were sitting out in the driveway. We're like having a few drinks and stuff out in the car because the children were in the house. I don't know why we were sitting out there doing it, but in any case, I look at that address. I'm like, well, that's weird. We were born. I mean, not when we were born. We met when we were 14 and 15, and I thought at that time that it meant something significant, but who knows? Did it meant the destruction of our life? 364th Avenue, Old Town. All right. Anyways, okay. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna go back. They hide the stuff pretty well. They sure do. U.S. military veterans do all kinds of stuff that is normal to us, but really weird to everyone else. Who knows what scares veterans? The effing civilian world, it's scary out there. It sure is. And you don't even, it's not even that even if you didn't fight in wartime. I mean, veterans have been treated horribly, just horribly. Once my husband went through the military, the way he was treated, that's why the reason my kids are doctors now, because he's like, I don't want my kids going in the military. Sorry. Somebody that served their country and you're going to be treated like crap. The Army and National Guard. Okay, very nice. Good job. That's right. Wow. That's great. Yep. Like I say, these veterans, and, the VA, I mean, what kind of help are you going to get from there? We've never got nothing, nada. My two oldest kids were born at Wright Pat Air Force Base. And I still think something peculiar going on. Like they say, they talk about weird stuff that went on at Wright Pat. And my husband guarded the Air Force One when he was there, and lots of other things going on. Who's beeping my thing now? What's about? It's going to be about that time. Is that what it's all about? But yeah, that was interesting. I mean, in the Google or in the Messenger chat or whatever, people are coming up with a lot of good information, and I'm really appreciative of you guys knowing all these laws and knowing all these case laws and stuff like that, because I'm 59. I'm just like, I don't want to use my age as that, but I'm just glad I'm healthy enough to survive this, because a lot of people aren't. I mean, you got to keep up with your health. You got to exercise. I'm very encouraged. You guys, don't be eating that junk crap that's going to kill you. Don't try to, if you're addicted to cigarettes, please try to cut down. This is another thing that's killing Americans. I mean, alcohol. If you're going to do it, please moderation, because this is a depression, and it's a depressant. It's not helping anyone. Okay. Answer me this. It's like, it reminds me of some movie again. Is the monster under the bed scary, or are the civilians the scariest? I'd rather sleep and hang out with the monster most of the times under the bed. Exactly. It's true. It's true. I'm still wondering what was really in that penicillin shot they gave us in our butt that wouldn't let us walk. That's interesting, because when my husband did, they did, I don't know what they called it. It's some kind of thing where they go through obstacles and they go out, and there was another thing that they went out into the field for like 3 days or something, like a survival mission or something. And he came back with all these like blisters all over the front of his legs. He couldn't, like, all over his feet. He couldn't even like put on his boots. So we were like busting the blisters for him to get on his boots. And he had to get like some kind of medical pass, because it was like, what the hell? What was going on there? Yeah, it's some messed up stuff, guys. Yeah, exactly. The monster in the bed is my bestie. That's true. Like, hello. I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And in reality, I just wish I could have more dreams, like good dreams, because um, that's what I live for, is going to sleep, just sleeping through it, and trying to hope for some good dreams now. On the other hand, I'm finding that marijuana actually reduces your dreams. So it's a toss up. But I noticed my dream when I was locked up in jail for 34 days. My dreams did come back. And unfortunately, my husband's having some nightmares over there. So that's not good. So, yeah. And the medical care doesn't sound so great over there at Bay Correctional Facility. All right, guys. We should probably wrap it up because I got batter fish to fry today, and I'm just kidding. No, but I got, like I say, I got to follow my own advice. I got to get out there. Yesterday, I didn't go for a walk. Try to at least go for a walk every day, or get on my row machine. Do some squats. Squats is what I hate to do, but my son is like, "Come on, you can do it," and that's what we always have to have some encouragement, some push. To say, come on, like your app will say, if you ever get that exercise app on your thing, and follow your steps. It's like, come on, you can do it. You're halfway there. This is what we need. We need more encouragement to keep on keeping on, because too many people. My husband, for surely, is one of them that fell into this deep depression, and there was no getting him out. There's no getting him out. And now that he's over there, all I can do is just pray that, God has got our back at this point, because there's nothing left. All right. We don't stop. We never will. We, we're peaceful people. That's what I have. This one sign that says, it's a little sign that says, uh, be warning. Hippies live here. If the peace, love, and understanding could break out at any moment. Like, what do you think? Like, oh Lord, like I say, it doesn't matter where you live, where you move. The fusion exchange centers will follow you. They'll share false information through law enforcement from state to state. I have a copy of a bulletin. You all surely have a bulletin on you, but you've never seen it. I've got a copy of mine. And we'll take this copy of their false fusion exchange bulletin, and I'm going to roll it right up and shove it right up their butts and see how they like that. So we're on to you people that want to break the law and take our rights away and tear up our families. We know it's not right, and we're going to get our word out there as many times as you want to take down our TikToks and do this and that, because the reason they're taking down the TikToks is because it's the best way to get out information. And the only reason I started doing TikTok and gone on Facebook was try to hopefully find my kids. Okay. I wanted to, that's what I was doing. My husband, he was done YouTube for a long time. He used it as a broadcasting network. Okay. He wasn't socializing. That's why he still doesn't believe that YouTube is a social media site, because he doesn't use it as one. He's never socialized on Facebook. He's never socialized on YouTube, nothing like that. We're like, I'm telling you, we're old. If it wasn't for this new phone that my son got me, I probably wouldn't be able to do half the shit I can do now. But they're making it easy for us slow people. But like I say, I homeschool 3 doctors. They say I'm unteachable. You figure it out. No idea. But my husband's a very smart person and always has been. So, it's a sad situation. And we just want to leave it on a high note to say, y'all, be there, be square. We got the February 14th show going on. We're all going to tell our stories. Get your stories into hunting. No, wait a minute. Sorry. CPS huntingjustice@gmail.com, because we're taking everybody's story. And once we do a live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time On February 14th, we're going to send it off to every email that we have that we can try to get this to Trump in one way or the other, because we will not be silenced, y'all. All right. This is me. This is Brenda, and I'm heading out. I don't know if anybody's taking care of this show. Yeah, I'm trying. Like I say, I got a head wound when I tried to go save my daughter in 2019, and I started having these episodes of passing out, and it's pretty scary. But like I say, I got 9 staples in my head then, and it was like, wow. And here I am in jail because I was trying to do as my daughter asked. It wasn't kidnapping, and I wasn't even charged with kidnapping, and it ended up, my charge was interfering with custody and crossing state lines. And she reported abuse. She's like, Mom, I've been waiting for you to come. I got my bags packed. I'm ready to go. I was wondering where you are. She doesn't want to be there. She doesn't want to be there. She's autistic. She's a beautiful young lady, and my son is a beautiful young man. And they are now, my daughter Sage is 21, and Christopher is 19, and we have no idea where they are. So if anybody, I always throw pictures up on my Facebook of what my kids look like the last I saw them. And if you're looking for my son, just look for a guy version of me, because this kid looks exactly like his mom. In any case, I'm Brenda Cambron, and this is Bringing Back Brenda, and we'll be back and see you next week on my show. I've been doing Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays now, so hope to see y'all soon. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. It took a while to get somebody in the chat this morning or this afternoon. Like I say, I'm an hour behind y'all, but we keep fighting the fight. And thanks for joining, and you guys have a great day.